Okay. Hey everybody. So I'm back with you again for a another pandemics past video. This is one of my favorite videos actually. If y'all don't remember earlier, I tried to make biscuits back in April and failed miserably. And I actually wanted to post that, but I didn't have enough video footage because once it started going so wrong, I cut the camera off. But I did post the finished product, which they were flat. But I tried the biscuits again, and so that is this video. And I cut out very little of it because baking is very finicky. And so you kind of need to see all the steps. But I looked very hard for different recipes, and this was definitely the one. And actually, I found it on like one of the Facebook groups. So it was just a random lady. I think she was like in Michigan or something. So that was great. You can clearly tell in this video that I was definitely suffering from potential loss of maybe not having football, and you can definitely tell by my conversation in this video. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. It's from May 27th, I believe, and thanks for watching with me. I'll see y'all soon. Bye. Alright, so we are back here for another edition of Jonna Experiments. We are experimenting with biscuits again, because the first time did not go so well. Baking's not really my thing. So one thing that whenever I try new recipes, I always look at multiple recipes and find the common factors. And one common factor in this biscuit was saying that they wanted all the ingredients to be very cold. So stick everything in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I've had my stuff in the freezer for like 20 minutes because I opened the freezer and I had to make a drink. I'm going to get that stuff out of the freezer, and I'm going to just let this whole thing record and play out. So I had my bowl with my flour, my 2 sticks of butter, and my pastry cutter in the freezer. So we'll cut these up. I'm just going to cut up the butter so it cuts up a little bit better. And the new recipe that I followed said 2 sticks of butter. I did not see any recipes that said that much butter, but like I said, this lady looks like she knew how to make biscuits. Actually, I didn't say that. I said that on my story. So I got this new recipe from Facebook, Quarantine Cuisine. And this lady just posted a picture of biscuits, and she definitely looked like the type of chick that knew how to make some biscuits. So I was like, let me see what she's talking about. So yeah, this is her recipe. But with some of the tips from the previous recipe. I really should have just tried the other recipe, the one I did before again, and just followed directions, but that's why I'm not good at baking, because I don't like to follow directions. Cooking, you can kind of freestyle and be free with it and drop down and get your eagle on. Once again. All right. Wash my hands again. Now I'm just going to take my cold cutter and just cut this in. And they say that you want to get your sizes or your butter down to like a piece of a pea. Like an actual like pea, like as in peas and carrots. And so that's what I'm going to aim for. You want to do this as quickly as possible. Get the butter out. Seems like I bought a real good pastry cutter because she was talking about pastry cutters and, you know, the different types of metal and stuff. And this one seems like a pretty good one. It was like $30 for the whole set. So I'm still working at this. As you can see, I have my Packers shirt on to you know, this is a Hail Mary here. I want to get these biscuits right. Failing is not an option. But if I do fail, I still have about 13 more pounds of self-rising flour. So we'll just try this again. I don't know. If I don't get it this time, I'm going to be kind of discouraged. I'm not even going to lie. But one thing I will say is it's like almost 11 o'clock. Actually, it probably is 11 o'clock. I always do my best baking at night. Like the few times that I have made some really good stuff baking, it was always like late at night and random. So try to keep as much flour as we can in the bowl. So the recipe, I don't even think I told y'all that. So the recipe is 4 cups of self-rising flour, 2 cups of butter, 2 cups of salted butter, that is, 1 cup of buttermilk, and 3/4 cups of whole milk. So that actually is still sitting in the freezer. And, you know, they said don't keep it in the freezer. They didn't necessarily say keep that in the freezer. I just put it in there just because. Yeah, we're just working through it. I don't know. Can y'all see it? Yeah, y'all can kind of see in here. See how you see the little clumps or whatever? I still want to get some of these bigger clumps out, so I'm still going through it, working through it. Again, they said no clumps of butter should be bigger than the size of a pea. So just keep working at it. I need the spirit right now of Bart Starr and Vince Lombardi and Brett Favre. Brett Favre's dad. Reggie White. You need Fallen. Green Bay Packers. So, all the videos said you want to do this process as quickly as possible. So, I'm trying to do this and get it to the size that I want it to. Most of these are a pea size. I'm going to sift my fingers through it and just try to get some of the bigger clumps out with my hands. And go through it one last time because I'm about to add this buttermilk to this. I'm losing my patience again, which is why I don't bake. I feel pretty satisfied with how that looks. You see how there's no real big clumps in there? Well, let's see how this goes. So I got my buttermilk here, and I'm about to go ahead and put it in the mixture. Again, this is 1 cup of buttermilk and 3/4 cups of whole milk. And I just pulled this out of the freezer to make sure that it stayed cold. All right, I just took my cast iron skillet and put it in the oven because it said that you're supposed to put the biscuits in a hot oven, and the oven is at 425 degrees. I'm just going to mix this up. And one thing that they said is do not over mix it. Mix it thoroughly, but don't overdo it. So I'm going to try to keep this as light as possible. So it'll make your biscuits dry. Okay, so as you can see, this all sopped up pretty quickly. And we got our dough. That's a pretty good dryness. Actually, I'm way more satisfied than the last time I made biscuits. So, what I recommend is just using your actual counter surface and just sprinkling flour all over the surface. Just go ahead and use your surface. Don't try to use a cutting board. I tried that last time and it didn't go so well. And even in all the videos, everybody just kind of used their counter. So I'm doing what everybody else did. Sprinkle on the flour, not too much. And put a little flour on my hands. Roll this around a little bit. And then it says, do not play with it a lot. Don't play with it a lot. You need a little bit more flour. Add a little bit more flour. Just a little bit. Yeah, don't play with it a lot. And then start flattening it out. And they said flatten it out to about 1 inch thick. So that's about 1 inch right there. Okay. Then I'm also going to put a little bit right here. And this right here is for my biscuit cutter, just to dip it in flour to make sure that the biscuits don't stick. All right, so I oiled this pan and put it in the oven. Might be a bit much oil. Dip it in the flour. This thing covered in flour. Maybe I can use the bigger one. I think I got this. I think I got this, guys. Oh, shit. All right, people, I'm going to let y'all see this. I think we might have some success here. That's with this round of biscuits. So I'm going to top these off with butter and stick them in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes. Cross your fingers. I think we got a success here. Biscuits, biscuits, biscuits. I still tried the other method of using the cast iron skillet and then drizzled some butter on top. But yeah, these bad boys right here look way better. Alright everybody, so I hope y'all thoroughly enjoyed that video. That was a tricky one for me. That was the second time making biscuits. The first ones were just not right at all. And I was probably going to cry if I didn't get those right the second time. So I'm glad I got to share that with you guys. I highly recommend that video. That was from one Facebook recipe lady to me, and hopefully I can pass it on to you guys, because something told me she had the juice, and she did. Love y'all. See you soon.